Yes, and that's right. It's Reels to Radio, KDUR's collaboration with Durango Film and Independent Film Festival. This program is the audio look into the film festival, its organizers, and some of the creators and stars of the films. My name is Brian Liggett, and our guest today is Vanessa Crocini, who is the writer, director, producer, all-around gal of the film Get Together Girls. And we are also joined by Thomas Harangi and Sachin Mehta from the feature film The Advocate. And I'm going to announce these times they're playing. The Advocate is going to play this evening at 6 p.m. at the Gaslight Theater, and then Saturday at the Durango Arts Center at noon, and then Get Together Girls will be showing tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. at the Gaslight. Vanessa, Thomas, Sachin, welcome to KDUR. Thanks for being here. Welcome to Durango.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having us.
I'm happy to be hosting this program this morning, and great to meet all of you. Welcome to Durango. I hope it's everything that it's lived up that you thought it would be so far, and maybe it has.
Well, so far the beer selection have been excellent.
Oh boy, yes, okay.
It's cold, but we can't complain.
Yeah. It's coming from LA. I'm sure, what is it? Probably like 75, 80 degrees in LA today, and
I don't know. I haven't checked yet.
It's just cold. Let's say this.
I'm glad to be able to wear my jacket.
Yes, exactly. Break out your winter clothes at least once a year when you come to the Durango Film Fest. So, well, Vanessa, let's start with you. Get Together Girls. It showed last night on Wednesday night at the opening night, and it's going to show again tomorrow at 9 a.m. Tell me a little bit about Get Together Girls.
Get Together Girls is the story of 6 former street girls from Kenya who joined a tailoring project created by an Italian woman who quit everything and moved to Kenya to help them rehabilitate, pretty much. And so now they're fashion designers, and I spent a month in Kenya in 2011. And I went with no crew and shot in, like over there and in several slums. And it was a pretty good experience, I have to say.
Now, what makes you want to tell that story?
I think it's a positive story of women. It's a story of empowerment. It's a story of hope. And the fact that this woman quit everything and moved to Africa, with no one to start this thing, I think it's pretty amazing and worth it, like talking about it. And the girls are fantastic.
Yeah.
So the stories that they shared with me are pretty amazing. They've gone some rough times when they were children, and now that they're young girls, they have this opportunity to actually blossom again, you know, and it's pretty awesome, I have to say.
So you go to Kenya, you discover this woman that's saving these young girls from a life on the streets and worse eventually. So how are these women with the fact that, like, all right, I'm going to make a movie about you?
Well, when I went over there, I first asked Grace, which is the name of the Grazia Orsolato, it's the name of the Italian woman, and she said, yes, like we can totally make this happen. And when I went over there, I didn't start shooting right away. For the first couple of days, I was just holding my camera and just walking around them, just to make sure that they pretty much were getting used to, my presence. Yeah. And then, it was pretty interesting. They were really comfortable with me.
Oh, yeah?
And so I built that trust with them that really allowed them to open up during the interviews. And they shared some pretty interesting details. Yeah. So, and I was crying too, during the interview. So that's really difficult sometimes because you have to detach yourself. But, I'm not really good at that. Yeah. I'm Italian, so I'm a little bit drum. So
So you were able to hold it together. You were the only person there.
The only help I had was really in the slum. I had a local guy that was holding a GoPro and was going around, but that was pretty much it. So it was a choice dictated by, of course, budget, because one more person is a lot more. Yeah. And second, I really wanted to build that trust with the girls. I didn't want a DP that was a male, And, working with somebody you had never worked with sometimes can be a little bit rough. So I'm like, okay, I'm leaving. I'm going by myself. And, we'll see what happens.
Now,
and it went well.
When you first land in Kenya, is it one of those things that you're just like, oh, my God, I'm here. I'm making this movie, but where do I even begin?
It wasn't. I have to say, the third week I started to melt down a little bit, because when you shoot and you're with them and you hear the stories, and then we went to visit some of the mothers that still live in the slum, and I mean, again, you have to detach yourself, but you hold it, and then you explode. So I was like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not doing this right. But I think then, it's very human, and you can't be just detached from whatever you see. So it comes back at some point, and it's just a learning experience. You grow up a lot professionally, I think. At least that's what happened to me, and personally, for sure.
Yeah. Now, when I was watching the trailer for this this morning, and what was the website? Did I write that down?
GetTogetherGirls.com.
GetTogetherGirls.com, and again, it's going to show tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. at the Gaslight. When I was watching the trailer, there was a quote in there that was shown at the beginning that struck me: "When you educate a girl, you educate a community."
Yes.
Tell me more. Why put that in there?
Well, first of all, it's an African proverb, which I think, we all come from there.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Africa gets into your blood.
Yeah.
And I think it's a place where the woman, in general, femininity, it's the root of everything. So if you go to villages, if you go, in all those remote places, women is what really puts it all together and holds it together. Yeah. And so for me, it's actually, for me, it's telling the story of women that really have the potential, but unfortunately sometimes they are not allowed to actually make that explode, and it's not really explored at all. Yeah. So, and this is, the fault of the society. This is unfortunately, culture, and but if you go to the really root, that the woman is what, makes it, puts it together. I don't know how to explain it. Sorry.
I wouldn't say, certainly in Africa, but basically everywhere. I think of my own family. If you want a problem solved and you want some answers, you go to my mom.
Well, again, I think women are just stronger, and maybe it's because we give birth, and I don't know what.
Dudes would never be
right?
be able to pull that off.
But we have that.
That's true.
Come on. We're making this world better. That's like my opinion as a woman.
I have a child. I watched the childbirth, and thinking to my child's mom, like, I never would have been able to pull something like that off, and I don't want to. You're truly the stronger sex as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
And I'm not afraid to say that. So.
Great. Thank you very much.
I actually saw her movie last night.
Yeah.
And it was pretty amazing.
Yeah. Thank you.
And actually, one thing that she should mention is that these women featured in the film, they actually output these beautiful handbags and beautiful dresses.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, for anything, this fashion designers and another fashion design, they make clothes, they make purses, they make anything, wallets, anything, and you can buy these products online at gtogcollection.org. And they have PayPal, so that's fantastic. You can buy everything in there. It takes a little bit to get here, but you'll get it.
I imagine these women at the start of this, it's like they probably never even seen like an industrial sewing machine before.
They, some of the sewing machine were brought from Italy. Some they found it over there. But the good part of this is that they have a good response from people, and they're really, that people like what they do. And so they're kind of, oh my God, is this really happening? And the fact, that there's this documentary that is telling their stories, they wouldn't believe that people are interested in them. Yeah. So this is giving them motivation to actually keep going with this project.
And so I can go to this website and buy like a handbag or something for my daughter.
Yes. And also if you go to the, website of the documentary, you will be redirected eventually.
Okay.
So,
wow. Cool.
Yes.
Well, that's a great story. I want to see the film showing tomorrow, 9 a.m. At the Gaslight.
Are you going to have a raffle tomorrow?
No.
Okay.
I'm not.
She had a raffle for a handbag, and I was 4 off from winning it.
Oh, man.
But you know who won it?
Who?
Funny enough, I picked, and the director of the festival won it.
So Joni won it, huh? Oh, cool. That's awesome. Okay, well, that other voice that you're hearing, that's Sachin Mehta from, you're the star of The Advocate, right?
Oh, yes.
And we're also joined by Thomas Harangi, director, writer. Throw out all your titles here, Thomas.
Director, writer, co-producer, grip truck driver, and there's a couple other ones in there.
That's true. You did drive the grip truck.
Yeah,
That's
I did.
right.
I
So,
did drive the grip
I'm imagining, and we can talk about financing and money that goes into these films in a little bit, but I'd imagine, like, at a small level, the director also wears many hats.
Yes. Yes.
Such as driving the truck. Well, tell us about The Advocate, which is this is the world premiere right here in Durango.
The
So,
world premiere
that's a
tonight
nice-
at 6. So you guys, if you come out to the Gaslight Theater tonight, you will be the first audience ever to witness this movie. We finished it in January, end
Yeah.
of January. So very excited about that. But it's The Advocate is what I would call a good old-fashioned murder mystery thriller, legal thriller. It's in the vein of classic Alfred Hitchcock movies.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
and
yeah.
so we were trying to capture that feel and that suspense, that's basically the pitch of it. Unfortunately, I can't really tell you too much about the story without giving away some surprises.
Yeah,
so-
because it's a mystery and stuff,
Yes.
and we don't want to give too much away.
Yeah.
But
And the so far the festival staff has been great. A few of them who have seen it. They were very hush about the little secrets in there. So
Yeah.
that was pretty cool.
did you write the film?
Yes, I wrote the script and I directed it, and Sachin and I kind of developed it together. It was an interesting story because it's a story of a lawyer, and Sachin is actually a lawyer in California.
Oh,
So we were actually able to sit down and just talk about legal stuff and how those things would be implemented in
Yeah.
the courtroom. And
yeah.
so it was. I feel like we were able to capture a certain authenticity for it, hopefully.
So, Sachin, are you an actor that doubles as a lawyer or a lawyer that doubles as an actor?
Unfortunately, I am a lawyer who doubles as an actor. I mean, if it was up to me, I would act all the time because it's way more fun
Yeah.
being in a room full of creative people
Yeah.
than it is being in a courtroom full of attorneys who want to tear your tear you apart. So
Yeah.
So actually, when we were getting ready for this, when we were working on the story and getting ready for the shoot, I was able to basically be a lawyer part-time and dedicate a lot of time to The Advocate,
Yeah.
while my law partner did all the work. So
Yeah. Now, see, I guess I never think about that where, you have a profession, you're a lawyer or a doctor or something, and then you're actually brought in for some real, not legal consultation, but some consultation to make the film real. you know?
Yes.
You know?
Yes, and there was that balance. Actually, it was fascinating because Tomas would, we would go over certain parts of the script, talk about different legal concepts, and he was able to take very boring, concepts that lawyers find boring and tried, and this is sort of stuff that we deal with every day, and transform them into something dramatic.
Yeah.
So I think in this movie, there is an authenticity to it. I think lawyers will appreciate it, but I do think it's a very dramatic film. It's not necessarily procedural like you would expect if a boring lawyer wrote a script. So.
Yeah, and I watched that trailer as well, and even the trailer had me in a little bit of suspense where there's kind of, I don't know, the classic build-up, and it's,
Cool.
all right, I got to go see the movie.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mentioned the trailer. I just want to throw that out. theadvocatemovie.com. If you go on there, you can check out our trailer.
Yeah.
And our screening times are also listed there on the website.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are so stoked to have a premiere here.
Yeah.
Durango.
I guess how did let's get back to the beginning. What's the timeline where from typing the very first sentence of your screenplay to now?
It's interesting. Actually, it's really roughly about 3 years ago that we sat in that restaurant and came up with there's a little story device in there that allowed us to do this legal thriller, this courtroom drama for a limited budget.
Yeah.
And we I remember the moment when we came up with, what if we did this?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, oh, that's brilliant. And so I started typing, and we had a first draft in about a month because I was so excited about it. And of course, there's been many rewrites since then. But it's basically a 3-year process for us, which I think makes us definitely lucky. I think the average for an independent movie is about 5 years. I'm being told,
Yeah.
but we were lucky enough to get some really good people behind our movie, and our financiers behind our movie, and our executive producer Nellen Shaw, and it was really generous and got behind us and allowed us to kind of fast track it.
Yeah. Vanessa, what about you, timeline wise? A couple years for your story?
2 years exactly from when Grace sent me an email saying, "Okay, we're doing this," to actually the premiere.
Yeah.
2 years.
Now, as the creators of your individual films, is it I run around with a lot of musicians, and I always talk to them about when they're making their records. They work on it for so long, and it gets to a point where it's like, I can't even listen to this, or at the moment. Do you at times do you feel like, all right, I just got to step away from this for a few weeks?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Well, we were just we were finishing ours, and when what ended up happening is we had to send out some screener DVDs, and I had to test the DVDs.
Yeah.
So that's when I felt like I just need to just not watch it for about 2 weeks before Durango, because I want to experience it new again.
Yeah.
Usually about 2-3 weeks I'm able to experience it new. So hopefully tonight when I watch it with the folks here, I can experience it as a new movie again.
Did you actually screen every single DVD? Did you
No,
watch?
I came up with a workflow procedure to test the DVDs that satisfied me of how of their quality and their playability.
Yeah, yeah. Now, are you all nervous? Vanessa, were you nervous last night when you got here and the movie showed?
I think it's always a new experience, actually, because every audience gives you something different. So whenever you watch your movie, it doesn't matter how many times you have watched it, and I'm talking about 100 times by now.
Yeah.
So you know every single detail, but the reaction of the audience is different every single time.
Yeah.
So in Los Angeles, I had a lot of Italian friends that were laughing at a lot of Italian things, that the Italian woman said, and here people laugh at other things, So it's or cry in different parts. So it's all like a different process every time, but I think it's the best satisfaction, I think, for a filmmaker to actually watch the movie on the big screen.
Yeah. With
the reaction of the people, because they don't know you, and so they're really sincere about their opinion about your film. So it's the best feeling.
Yeah. Now, Thomas and Cecina, are you all nervous for the big premiere tonight?
No. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. My hands are sweaty. If you see me tonight at the premiere, I might look discombobulated.
Yeah. Now and then, so for any of y'all for getting the film into this festival, what's that process? I mean, do they come to you? Do you come to us? And by us, I mean the film festival.
Well, it was interesting. We've been submitting to festivals, and we have a sales agent that works with us that's who I was making the DVDs for, to take it out to distributors, because currently we don't have distribution yet. We just finished the movie. So as we were finishing it, he was recommending me certain festivals to take it to, and he said, Durango is a lot of fun. You should do Durango. So we submitted it, and Brandon and Greg and the people here who screened it, they apparently really liked it.
Yeah.
And they invited us, and we were very happy to be invited. So that's how that worked out.
Vanessa, what?
Well, for me, I've been submitting to festivals, but I got this recommended by actually Mark Bond and Christine Bond, who I say hi to, that were here in Durango with the film for 2 years in a row. So they recommended me. Durango is the best. You're going to have a lot of fun. The stuff is amazing. And they were so right. And Mark told me to drink a lot of water because of the altitude.
Yes.
He's so right, because the headache was
Everybody's been telling us to drink a lot of water, which is fascinating. I think that's the one common. And whoever we meet in Durango, at some point in the conversation, they'll remind us to drink a lot of water. The first time I heard it, I thought, I should definitely hydrate. But by the fourth or fifth time, I'm thinking, if I don't drink water, I'm just going to black out. So I'm just chugging water.
The funniest thing I noticed last night is they tell you drink a lot of water, and then they hand you a beer. So
it's a two-fisting.
Well, that's what I've noticed. Everybody holds a glass of water, and everybody has a glass of wine or beer.
Yes.
So you show them that you're, going from one to the other.
We are at 6,500 feet, so drink lots of water, drink lots of beer, and then whatever you do in between is your own business. So, well, that's great. That makes me happy to hear that the buzz of the film festival here in Durango is out there, amongst LA or New York or whatever, that people are saying good things about this, which is cool.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was flying in today with one of the gentlemen who's showing a movie here, and he was telling me this is his second or third time here, and I'm gonna have a lot of fun. He was very excited about it, and I'm very excited about it.
Yeah. We actually have a friend who's when we first found out, I think the second day after we found out, she said, "Wow, you guys are at the Durango Film Festival," and she knew about it. She was in New York, and she's flying in today, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
From New York, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Check it out.
So, no,
Yeah.
I think Buzz is definitely out there.
Yeah.
Durango's definitely on the map, and we're just happy to be here.
Yeah. Now, as filmmakers, and you come to this, and of course, this is a working trip because you want to show your film and stuff like that. But what do you look for and like in film festivals outside of your own film? I mean, obviously, I think you want to see good movies, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
No, I think I was looking at the lineup last night, and it looks like there's going to be some very interesting, good movies here, and so I'm looking forward to checking out what the other guys are doing. And I mean, for us, it's weird because I just can't. It's going to be our first time of people reacting to the movie, so I have a hard time putting that aside right now. And
Yeah.
so I'm looking forward to tomorrow to actually being able to watch other movies without having to worry about the premiere tonight. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like watching movies in LA, at least the way my friends and I do it in LA, it's sort of like eating at franchise restaurants, And I can go see a James Bond movie or the latest Avengers or whatever's out there, but film festivals, like for example, last night Vanessa's film, I never would have seen anything like that.
Yeah.
And this festival, there are so many cool films out there, and just meeting different folks talking about their passions. There's a movie about wild horses and how they're being exploited out in the Midwest. Wow, I never would have seen that.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
I never would have
absolutely.
been exposed to it. I think there's people out there who are interested in it, but just the way marketing and advertising works, you just don't come across it. So
Yeah.
festivals like these are great because, literally for 5 days, I am just going to have non-franchise cuisine.
Absolutely.
For me, this is my third festival. The first was in LA, so in LA I was home. I don't even get to really experience.
Yeah.
But when you actually get to go out of where you live and meet different people, watch amazing movies, and just explore, and get to really connect with people that love films, and I think it's the best thing ever. And again, like Sachin said, it's great to just see things that you would not see otherwise,
Yeah.
especially because as we are in LA, we really are congested with a lot of blockbusters and big Hollywood stuff. And, the Oscar just happened, and now finally, we're out of that bubble and we're experiencing something a little bit different.
Congested.
And and independent filmmaking has to be awarded somehow, and I think that festivals are the best way to do it.
Yeah.
We don't get the exposure that we, like again, Hollywood movie would get, but it doesn't matter, as long as people get to watch it and actually get something out of each screening of each film. That's the best satisfaction that a filmmaker can have.
For me, I like the fact that these are stories that are told that otherwise I wouldn't even think of. Like if somebody said Get Together Girls is a blockbuster, I would think some, terrible movie about a bunch of just like stuck up white girls going on a road trip or something like that. And I read about it and it's just like, wow, who knew that there's these girls that are made seamstresses and their lives are totally saved because of it, So it's blockbusters, whatever. I've seen one blockbuster in the past like 4 years, and that was Lincoln, and as great as it was, whatever. We can save this conversation for we'll have this conversation over a beer.
Yes.
That sounds,
And water.
And water. So, Vanessa, are you working on anything new now that might be here next year?
Hopefully. Well, for this year, I'm pretty much following this baby because I feel like I've given birth, after 2 years of long labor, going back to the, maternal instinct here.
Yeah.
Well, right now, I'm just trying to figure out what's the next step.
Yeah.
Because I want to go back to Africa for a longer period of time, maybe 4 to 6 months, and I'm just trying to understand where and what I want to film.
Yeah.
And I'm starting research for a next, maybe one of the next projects that I might have to do at the same time, which is the story of my parents. I kind of want to tell.
Cool.
Yeah, they met in 1970 in Romania. My mom is Romanian, half Romanian, half Hungarian, and they have tons of footage from back those days. And I kind of want to tell their stories connected to the environment they grew up, in, and we'll see how that is, goes. It's a personal documentary, so that's really tough to actually. Develop and deal with, parents and stories and interviews.
You got to start admitting some things you might not be willing to admit.
Yes, exactly. So we'll see, but that's it for now.
Now, Thomas and Sachin, what about y'all? Anything?
Well, I just want to throw this out. Actually, I grew up in Hungary, so we have 1 1/4 Hungarian here.
Oh, cool. Excellent.
Yes.
So, But yeah, well, the question, what am I doing? I'd like to quote Dove Simmons. I have numerous projects in various stages of development.
That's a cool answer.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm working on typing and doing working on some things. So we'll see what adds up.
Yeah. And Sachin, more acting, less
Yeah,
lawyering?
more acting, less lawyering. I got some cases I have to tend to, but I am doing some writing on other crime thrillers. There's a movie that I'm writing about a small religion in India called Jainism that I'm going to write, and then once it's good enough, I'm going to present it to Tomas, and then we're going to work on that for 600 years. So,
well, excellent. Well, I really appreciate you all being here, and again, welcome to Durango. I hope you all have a great weekend here. We'll get through all the pertinent information right now. Vanessa, your Get Together Girls feature-length documentary, which showed last night, also showing tomorrow, 9 a.m. In the Gaslight Theater. And that website again for Get Together Girls is?
It's gettogethergirls.com for the website of the documentary. And if you want to order clothes and bags and anything else from the subjects of the documentary, is GTOG collection.org.
Excellent. And then The Advocate, which is premiering the worldwide premiere tonight.
Yes.
If you guys come tonight, we will take a picture of you from the front of the room just so we can have it for ourselves.
And sign autographs as well.
That's a great feather in the cap for the film festival. I think that's super cool that the premiere is right here in little old Durango, Colorado, which is awesome. So it's premiering tonight, 6 p.m. at the Gaslight, and then showing again Saturday at the Durango Arts Center at noon. And that website is theadvocatemovie.com, right?
Exactly, yes.
And so then otherwise, maybe you'll ride the train this weekend. There was talk of skiing.
Saturday.
Perhaps.
I'm going.
You've heard rumors about this train?
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll have to. Maybe we'll do a hold up just for old time's sake.
Yes, wait, has that happened ever in my time here? I don't know, like.
But isn't that they used to hold that train up? Isn't that what happened?
There probably
I watched too
was.
many movies.
Here's a movie. Is a drunken radio station manager decides to have a great idea and rob the train here in the year 2013.
If you don't see me coming back tomorrow.
Hold on, let me get my agent on the phone.
Exactly. I'm writing that story.
That's cool.
Or maybe I'm living it. I'm not sure. Well, I really appreciate you all coming up here and joining us for Reels to Radio this morning.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, guys.
And I'll let you know, dear listener, that you've been tuned into Reels to Radio, Durango Film and Independent Film Festival running in town through Sunday. For a complete schedule or more information on tickets and other information, go to durangofilm.org. Thanks for listening to Reels to Radio.